surveillance, and control. In 2017, the CEO of BlackRock had this to say about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies.
But most importantly, what I think about most of these cryptocurrencies, it just identifies how much money laundering there is being done in the world.
He even strongly advocated for a global CBDC because he understood its capability of monitoring and controlling the world's population.
But let's be clear, if we created a true global digital currency, then you would not have money laundering anymore. You would have everything understood, everything would be flowing through, everything would be identified. You could see all the application.
Yes, it would serve as an existential monetary weapon to enforce an environmental, social, and corporate governance racket that he uses to extort his global competition. Larry Fink also stated that his clients simply weren't interested in cryptocurrency.
Is it time yet for BlackRock to either trade in digital assets or digital virtual currencies, if you prefer, or to create a product for your clients?
We're not hearing any demand from any of our clients.
Now fast forward to 2023, where all of a sudden he re-explodes upon a digital asset scene after filing for a Bitcoin ETF and suddenly became the latest in a long line of corporate crypto bros who are dogmatically worshipped by Bitcoin maxis. So what happened? Well, come to find out, his client base, the ones that he claimed were not interested, well, they are indeed very interested in Bitcoin. And according to a few online articles, they even managed to take a cue from his ESG extortion playbook by strong-arming BlackRock Larry into rethinking his anti-crypto stance. However, I suspect that there are a few other, more devious reasons for his public change of heart, and it can be summed up into two words: surveillance and control. Surveillance and control. BlackRock Larry sees Bitcoin and the larger blockchain technology as a valuable mechanism that will enable him to spy on and surveil the very people who are using it. Bitcoin ETF? It allows that even further. So here's the deal. That's because when considering the proposed Bitcoin ETFs, the SEC uses the Exchange Act to determine whether an exchange can prevent fraud and manipulation. And they do this by using a tactic called surveillance sharing. Now, while the SEC infers that this action is needed to protect us and stop illicit and dangerous activities, it could also be weaponized against any of us who propose the government's agenda. And BlackRock can serve as a proxy governmental enforcer. Essentially, they become the modern-day Stasi who regulate on behalf of the oppressive governing bodies and individuals in order to maintain the legacy balance of power. Now, this allows him to leverage control well beyond the current ESG hoax and control the very thing which threatens global elite power. It will also future-proof that stranglehold on non-elites. Remember, it was James Garfield who once said, "He who controls the money of a nation controls the power." And since Bitcoin is borderless and the World Economic Forum's One World Master Plan is global, the race is on to protect that suppression. Now, surveillance sharing by the SEC can be abused in several ways. Invasion of privacy. When the SEC shares surveillance information, it can invade people's privacy by collecting and sharing personal data without proper justifications or protections. Unauthorized access and misuse. People within the SEC or the designated party can access and misuse surveillance data for their personal gain or for malicious purposes like insider trading or targeting individuals and organizations. Targeting of dissent. Surveillance sharing can be misused to suppress free speech or manipulate investigations in order to go after specific individuals or groups based on their political beliefs and affiliations. Lack of transparency and accountability. Now, without proper transparency, oversight, or accountability measures, the sharing of surveillance data becomes very vulnerable to abuse. Chilling effect on innovation and market participation. Excessive surveillance practices can discourage people from participating in the market, stifling innovation and legitimate economic activities due to the fear of intense scrutiny or unwarranted investigations. And with BlackRock as the gatekeeper, Larry and his organization have the most to gain from centralizing that access. They then become the apex predator of the blockchain. So I ask again, why is BlackRock Larry so pro-Bitcoin now?